Welcome back to Fenralion Gamer. There are brand new updates about the final chapter of the Final Fantasy VII Remake Trilogy Part 3. Square Enix has made several statements in recent weeks, and now we have solid information about how this series will finally conclude. In this video, we'll talk about Part 3's development process, potential DLC plans, its thematic direction, and even its possible release date. But before we get into the details, if you want to be the first to know about updates like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. Recent news about Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 has once again shaken up the gaming world. Especially with director Naoki Hamaguchi's statements, it's clear that the third and final part of the trilogy isn't just a game, it's the culmination of a long journey. After Rebirth, Square Enix seems ready to raise the bar once again, both technically and narratively. And it looks like this time, not only PlayStation players, but fans across all platforms will experience this massive finale simultaneously. Even though some fans had doubts about the series' future after Rebirth, Hamaguchi directly shut down those rumors. Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 has not been canceled, we're moving full speed ahead. He said, reassuring fans while confirming that the team is working at full throttle. In fact, during his talk at MCM London Comic-Con, he said, "As soon as this panel ends, I'm heading to my hotel room to check a few scenes in the game, showing how meticulous the team really is." It didn't sound like a PR line, it felt like a genuine expression of passion behind the project. Square Enix's current strategy is also quite intriguing in terms of the series' future. Hamaguchi explained that the base core version being developed for Part 3 is actually the Windows version, which will then be adapted to other platforms. That means this time, the PC version isn't just a port, it's the main version of the game. This suggests that FF7 Part 3 could launch on all platforms simultaneously. Square Enix has even formed a dedicated engineering team for this process called the Porting Squad. This group handles the technical adaptation to multiple platforms, allowing the main development team to focus entirely on creativity. The development process is evolving not only technically but also in terms of story and pacing. Although Hamaguchi disagreed with criticisms claiming certain parts of Rebirth were too long, he stated that Part 3 will have a more concise structure. Players today have so many things competing for their attention, so some prefer the story to move faster, he said, emphasizing the team's goal of crafting a narrative that matches the rhythm of modern players. In other words, Part 3 will deliver an emotionally intense, yet more fluid experience. During this process, the developers are also redefining the series' thematic foundation. Hamaguchi previously mentioned that the theme of the first game was reunion, while the second focused on bonds. However, he's keeping the third game's theme a secret. Still, his words about it being a closing chapter that feels like a reward indicate that Part 3 will not only complete the story, but also provide players with an emotional farewell. Considering that Square Enix is still aiming for a 2027 release and that most of the game is already playable, the wait might be much shorter than we think. Hamaguchi's statements don't just highlight technical progress, they also point to an emotional closure. He sees the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy not merely as a remake, but as a modern retelling that honors the legacy of the original. The finale of this trilogy will be a true thank you to every fan who has waited all these years, he said. This means we're not just getting another game, we're getting an experience that honors an entire generation's nostalgia. Hamaguchi confirmed that development is progressing very well, and that Part 3 is already largely playable. We have our direction, the game is taking shape, and it keeps getting better, he said, signaling that the project has moved past its early development phase. This means we'll likely see the trailer or the first official screenshots in early 2026. Square Enix, on the other hand, is taking a calm but confident approach, building hype step by step. Interestingly, Hamaguchi has also been open about his creative influences. He mentioned being inspired by story-driven games like The Witcher and Fable. This suggests that Part 3 might feature deeper personal choices, moral decisions, and stronger character arcs. His admiration for Ghost of Yote also hints at a more cinematic, Japanese-inspired visual tone. Hamaguchi's perspective approaching the project not just as a developer but as a passionate player gives the FF7 universe a genuine and heartfelt spirit. Alongside all these developments, Square Enix's multi-platform approach seems to be one of the biggest factors shaping the series' future. The technical team known as the Porting Squad was specifically formed to ensure the game runs with the same quality across every platform. This doesn't just mean performance consistency, it also ensures visual stability. Now, there will be no platform priority between PS5, Xbox Series X, Vertical Bar S, and PC players. Everyone will experience this massive story at the same time and in the same quality. But perhaps the most exciting part is that the universe might not end even after Part 3. Hamaguchi revealed, "We're considering DLC or even an entirely new game after the trilogy," suggesting that the FF7 universe could continue to expand. While he mentioned that additional content like Queen's Blood is unlikely, he confirmed that new spin-offs focusing on characters such as Yuffie, Nanaki, or Barret are being discussed. This shows that Square Enix sees the Final Fantasy VII world not as a closed trilogy, but as a long-term universe. These statements prove that Square Enix no longer sees the Final Fantasy VII brand as just a nostalgic project, but as a living franchise. Although Rebirth's initial sales didn't meet expectations, its success on PC helped rebuild the company's confidence. Hamaguchi described that success as momentum that powers the third game. So Rebirth isn't just a middle chapter, it's the bridge fueling the energy of Part 3. This also shows that Square Enix strategy is driven more by quality than financial pressure. Another notable detail about the development process is Hamaguchi's balanced approach to player feedback. He's not adopting a "we'll do whatever fans want" attitude. Instead, he says, "We listen to feedback, but we won't compromise our creative vision." This approach aims to maintain the originality at the core of the Final Fantasy series while still meeting the expectations of modern practice. Players. That means Part 3 is designed to appeal to both nostalgia and innovation. Hamaguchi's words aren't just full of big promises, they reflect genuine dedication. His line, "After the panel, I'll go check the levels myself," shows how personally invested the development team is in this project. Statements like these make players feel that they're getting more than just a game. They're getting a story crafted with love and passion. The trilogy's ending won't just be a finale. It will redefine Square Enix's legacy in the gaming world. Of course, the most anticipated mystery surrounding Part 3 is its central theme. The first game focused on reunion and the second on bonds. Now everyone is trying to guess what the third one will be. While Hamaguchi hasn't revealed it, rumors suggest it could be freedom or legacy. Both ideas fit perfectly with the final confrontation between Cloud and Sephiroth. If that's true, Part 3 could become not just an ending, but an epic conclusion built around freedom and legacy. Although we don't have many official details about the game's content, it's almost certain that Part 3 will be shorter but denser compared to Rebirth. Hamaguchi's emphasis on concise implies a focus on story-driven, emotional, and cinematic moments instead of vast open-world maps. This could bring the experience closer to the soul of the original Final Fantasy VII. If true, it means Square Enix wants to give players a finale that feels both nostalgic and modern. Square Enix's new approach also marks a significant technical transformation. As Hamaguchi confirmed, Part 3 is being developed on Unreal Engine with a Windows Core foundation. This not only enhances graphical fidelity, but also improves overall optimization. The game is no longer centered solely around PlayStation. It's being simultaneously optimized for PC, Xbox, and even the next-generation Nintendo consoles. For the first time in series history, we might see a global, same-day release across all platforms. This could unite the entire FF7 community under one banner. The Porting Squad team created during this development process has become the unsung heroes behind the scenes. They balance the technical requirements of each platform to maintain equal performance and quality. This strategy could eliminate the minor optimization issues seen in Rebirth. As a result, no matter what platform players choose, they'll enjoy the same cinematic quality and smooth gameplay. This alone proves how forward-thinking Square Enix has become. Hamaguchi's frequent emphasis on high quality reflects not just a technical goal, but also an artistic vision. The in-game scenes, character expressions, and emotional intensity are expected to be even more impactful than in Rebirth. The team is reportedly using AI-assisted animation tools to enhance cinematic storytelling during emotional moments. However, Hamaguchi draws a clear line. AI can help us, but the creative part belongs to us. We have to be better than AI. This statement confirms that Square Enix uses AI as a productivity tool but keeps full creative control in human hands. That approach builds strong trust, especially in an industry where AI's role is increasingly debated. Hamaguchi's clarity sends a powerful message to both developers and fans. The heart of Final Fantasy VII still beats with human creativity. Amid all these developments, the most anticipated topic is, of course, the release date. While Hamaguchi avoids giving an exact date, the 2027 goal is still in place. Considering that most of the game is already playable, this target seems realistic. Square Enix's phrase, "not too far in the future," supports this as well. That means we'll likely see the first trailer in mid-2026, followed by an early 2027 release. When that moment arrives, it won't just mark the end of a trilogy, it'll mark the rebirth of JRPG history. After all these statements, one thing is clear. Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 isn't just another sequel, it's proof of how storytelling in modern gaming can reach new heights. Hamaguchi's vision combines the series' technical and emotional strengths to deliver an unforgettable farewell. His words, "The end of this trilogy will be a reward for all the fans," prove that this finale is meant to be not just a closure, but a celebration. Where the story will ultimately conclude is still a mystery. But judging by what Hamaguchi and Nomura have hinted, this ending won't be limited to just the clash between Cloud and Sephiroth. The multiple timelines, alternate fates, and emotional transformations we saw in Rebirth suggest that Part 3 will explode with emotional power. Fans are expecting modern reinterpretations of iconic 1997 moments, this time at an epic level of visuals, sound, and gameplay. Square Enix's plan with Part 3 isn't only to close the FF7 trilogy, but also to lay the foundation for future Final Fantasy projects. The new production pipeline built after the shift to Unreal Engine 5 will be used in all upcoming titles. That means the success of FF7 Part 3 could shape the company's direction for the next decade. Under Hamaguchi's leadership, every small decision now represents more than a game, it represents legacy building. Although Hamaguchi's new theme remains secret, it has already created huge anticipation in the gaming world. Following Reunion and Bonds, the third installment will likely focus on the human spirit, sacrifice, and freedom. This theme could redefine the essence of Final Fantasy VII both in terms of personal journeys and the planet's salvation. At its core, the series' most important message resurfaces once again. Hope can be reborn even in the darkest moments. Yes, Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 is taking shape day by day, and it seems Square Enix is preparing not just a game, but a farewell story. It will be the most technically advanced Final Fantasy ever made and the most emotionally powerful. When new updates, trailers, or leaks drop, we'll be the first to talk about them right here on Fenralion Gamer. So if you enjoyed the video and don't want to miss any new details about this legendary finale, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. See you in the next video, friends.